Welcome to the...
Before you say your ugh,
What?
there's a new button on the board.
Okay.
Say your ugh,
Okay.
then push the button.
All right. Welcome to the Ugly Truth. Ugh. Ugh. Aw, that's Stephanie. Ugh. That's Stu. That's so cute. I love it. I love
there you
it.
go. Little homage until she's back on the show.
Aw, I love that. Well, anyway, welcome to the Ugly Truth. This is Jamie with Pa Ingalls in the house.
I think I like Mr. Ugg better, but
Mr.
okay.
Ugg.
Pa Ingalls.
I swear to God, okay, we have a lot to cover, so let's move swiftly.
Get right onto it.
My nerves are shot.
Yes.
Like Sebastian the Crab. As I told you earlier, I'm like Sebastian the Crab. My nerves are shot.
My nerves are shot.
Yesterday? Is it only been yesterday?
I don't know what you're going to say. So
I don't even know what's happening anymore, but I was in our bedroom and I was closing the curtains because we're getting, summer's coming or is here. And so it's like, we got to, heat.
Darken the house a little bit.
Darken it a little bit. Try to save a few cents here and there on the air conditioning. So, because it's so early in the year. And so I look down. So I'm on your side of the bed.
Yep.
Where the giant sliding glass door is.
Yes.
And I'm shutting it. And I look down and I'm okay. So I'm already irritated because there's like 3 pairs of shoes and some dirty clothes. I'm like, God damn, I can't even walk over.
That's my side of the bed.
I can't even walk over here. So I kick something out of the way and I'm fixing the curtain. And I look down. I'm like, what is that? Rope? Why is there rope down here? And I look down and I'm like, that is not rope. That is a reptile. A fucking reptile in my upstairs bedroom. I back off and I'm like, I don't know if that's a snake or a lizard, but
because you didn't have your glasses on, right?
It has nothing to do with that.
Oh.
The way it was curled up in the track of the sliding glass door, I couldn't tell what it was.
Got it.
I just knew that it was consuming a lot of room and it had a interesting brown and beige pattern on it. And I knew that it was reptilian. And I'm like, nope, I noped on out of there. So I yell for you. And of course, you're on the phone.
Yep.
I'm like, hey! And you're like, what? I'm like, there's a reptile in our bedroom. And like, I don't even think you could understand what I was saying. Like, what do you mean a reptile? Like a frog? Like I in my brain, you're probably going, I know she's incorrect. There's no way there's a reptile in our bedroom. That's insane. And I'm on the phone right now with Southwest Airlines trying to get a refund on something.
Do you know I told the lady that my wife was upstairs screaming because there was a reptile in the bedroom?
What did she say?
She goes, I would be screaming too. I'm going to put you on hold because I need to take care of this. And then you just go deal with what you need to deal with.
So you go in and you're like, yup, there's a lizard in there. And I said, and he goes, I think it's dead. And I'm like,
well, because
right.
I kind of moved stuff and it didn't move.
Here's the thing. When I saw it, I thought it was just a tail because of the way it was curled up. I thought it was just a tail. So I'm like, I don't even want to know where the rest of the lizard is. I'm just glad it's not a snake. Although that would have made no sense.
No.
In my brain, I'm like, did a cat bring it up?
No.
Did a dog bring it up and just dump it in our room and it skittered off into an area? No. I couldn't figure it out. I'm like, how the hell?
I still don't know how it got in.
Oh, I know how it got in. It got in because we have an upper deck and that thing climbed
up to the deck
and somehow made its way in, probably escaping a bird of prey or something. Yeah. And it got in and it's just been there. I don't even want to know how long it's been there. I don't want to know because I can't remember. Well, actually I do. We open the window or the sliding glass door at night because it's so nice out at night.
Yeah.
Never again. It's never happened. I'm never opening that door for the rest of my life.
Well, I mean, a screen door is closed, but a lizard could certainly get past
it's
I would
porous.
imagine. Yeah, so
there are avenues in for creatures,
I'm sure,
clearly,
obviously,
to get into our house. And I'm like, I don't know anyone else who has a lizard get into their upstairs bedroom, but it's happened. So you finally go in there and you have your barbecue tongs because you're going to pick up this dead lizard. And it's not dead.
It's not dead.
It isn't dead. Of course it's not dead. Of course
and
it's
where,
alive.
Where are you when I'm doing this?
Well, I have my legs up in my office in my chair because I'm like, well, the yoga's paid off. I'm bending in some contortion into my office chair. thinking for sure that thing is running out of our bedroom and God only knows where it's going to go. And I'm just...
So I had these tongs, and they were the perfect tongs to use. They were long. They were narrow. I could get them in the gutter of the thing. And I'm thinking, okay, this thing's still not moving. I've got stuff near it. It's still not moving. It's dead. It wasn't dead, obviously, as we know now. It takes a hard right and starts scurrying across the floor.
Oh, my God.
In the middle of the room.
I'm so glad I didn't see this.
And I am behind it. And you just hear click, 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 because I'm trying to capture this fucking thing. And it's all serpentine, serpentine. And then he makes a hard left. And I was like, no. He's under the bed.
Yeah. So I'm in there and you're furious.
I was so mad that I didn't catch this thing.
You're furious.
And now I'm like, I don't know where it is. I've got to close up the doors. He can get it anywhere he wants. One of two things is going to happen. I'm going to spend the entire day trying to find this thing. Or we're checking into a hotel.
I was already Googling hotels because I don't know what we're supposed to do. And all I'm thinking is, okay, now I hear lots of movement, lots of thrashing, crashes, thuds, all kinds of stuff.
I was hunting.
And I'm like, holy crap, I don't know what's going on there. And I hear this bam, bam, bam. And I'm like, okay, well, he's not beating it to death in the carpet. I know that because lizards don't require that. It's not a mammal. So I know that ain't it. And I'm like, he's trying to scare it out of something.
Yep.
And all I could think is if this thing gets under or in a dresser, it's going in a drawer. It's going... It can go into a vent. Like, it can go anywhere. And I'm losing my shit. I'm not even in there. And I'm just like, this is like a horror film.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen. And it wasn't small, by the way.
No, it wasn't
small.
Probably about, I would say 3 to 4 inches.
That's it?
Well, I mean, that's still pretty big for a lizard.
I thought it was a lot
bigger. But it was also close to an inch thick. It was like very, I don't like it. It was an alligator lizard, but it was very, very wide. Anyway.
I hate it so much. And here's the thing. Let's not forget that I have named these things.
I know.
I've named them Lucifer.
Yes.
And one of our listeners happened to remember and said, this is Lucifer's revenge. And I'm like, you know what? You're fucking correct. But I am not the one that beheaded it. You're the one that killed it. I didn't kill Lucifer. You did.
I know.
Anyway, which is probably why it was on your side of the bed. But
maybe.
I digress. So finally you come out, you're soaked in sweat. You're like, I can't get it. And I'm like, do you want the cats? And you're like, what? I threw our cats in there.
Yeah.
I swear to fucking God. Baxter cornered the thing in the bathroom, maimed it.
Well, hold on. You're going too fast here. There was way more to this story. There was way more to this story. So I'm in... it's under the bed for all I know. So I'm like, it could have gotten anywhere. Doors are closed, but it probably could go under a door. So I'm just watching the doors to make sure it doesn't leave the room. I literally ripped the mattress off. I ripped the box springs off. Fortunately for us, our box spring is sealed at the bottom. I was like, okay, he's not in here. I'm looking under the bed frame, all that kind of stuff. Meanwhile, you have thrown the cats in the room. One of them, Lucas, runs into the closet and hides. I can't find him. I have no idea where Lucas is.
Well, you've destroyed our bedroom.
So Lucas is like, I don't know what you're throwing me into, but I don't want to be in here. So I went into the closet looking for him and still couldn't find him. It's not that big of a closet. So then Baxter's just kind of toying around. He's hanging out by the sliding glass door.
He's like,
he's
what's
walking
going on?
around. And he's like, man, there's too much noise. I ripped the mattresses off. He's like, there's too much noise in here. I'm going to go in the bathroom. And then he doesn't come out. And I'm like, wait a minute. Why is he in the bathroom? Sure enough, he had cornered it.
Yep.
And I'm like, okay, I got to get this thing.
This is it.
Because he's not trying to kill it. He's playing with it.
Yeah.
So he's cornered it.
He stunned it.
And he hits it and it goes under him. It's running all around him. And he's not even like scared. He's just like, what the fuck is this thing doing? And so it makes a run under the vanity, under the vanity.
Luckily, it's sealed off.
The vanity's sealed, but there are 3 drawers open.
I know, because I was in the middle getting ready.
I know. And if it gets in the drawers, now we're screwed.
I know.
So I'm like shoving the barbecue tongs underneath to try and keep it in the corner. And I can't see it. It's up in the thing. Yeah. And I can't see it. And finally it comes out and I just go, shoo,
you grab it
by the neck with the tongs.
Now, I thought that you grabbed it with your hands.
I wish I could tell you that was the case.
I literally, you're like, I got it by the neck. And I'm like, oh my God, he grabbed it by the, with his hands. He just grabbed it.
No, I didn't think I was be fast enough to hold him to get
All
that,
I want to say is that I am grateful that Baxter did something to it to the point where there was some remains on our floor.
Yeah, he had clawed it,
He had clawed it or something and injured it enough that you were able to get it.
Yep.
Because this is truly a nightmare. I don't know, other than a rodent, I can't even, at least with a rodent, we probably could have caught it with food or something. But lizards, what do we know of lizards? We know nothing of the lizard. We don't know where this thing is going to go or what it's going to do. If it had gone in the vent, I would have lost my ever-loving mind. I wouldn't be able to live in here.
The house would have to be burned down.
Every room is susceptible to a lizard coming out of it if it got into the vents.
Yeah.
I was thinking of all the worst things that could possibly happen. And I'm like, what do we do? What do we do? What does anyone do when a lizard gets it? I don't know. All I know is that I walk in, Baxter's the hero. I give him many treats and wet food. He's thrilled. He's like, thank you. I know I'm your hero. I love it so much. And you come out, you are literally like, I have to take a shower.
I was throwing things to try and find this thing.
Our room looked like ransacked.
Yeah.
Everything. I'm like, why is the mattress against the fireplace? Like, what happened in here? And you're like, well, I had to do it. And I'm like, no, I am not critiquing your method by any means. It's fine. And you put it all back together. It was fine. It was great. Yeah. I'm like, I'll help you. And you're like, no, honestly, I still have trouble going in there knowing it's not even in there anymore. Like, it's horrifying. Anyway, that was yesterday. And then today, we're like, oh, let's do some yard work before it gets too hot. And we're on the deck having coffee at 8 a.m., just enjoying the morning. Do, 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 do. And all of a sudden, you're like, what is that? What is that? Mice have invaded our backyard, apparently. We had a whole family of mice running around by my garden, running under the fence to the neighbor's yard.
We saw one.
We saw one the other day going, oh no, the mice, well, you thought it was a baby rat.
I did. It was probably a big mouse, but
that's probably the
but
mother.
that one we saw just run away. But this one today was like, oh, that's a mouse.
Here's the other thing.
And then I walked down there and I go, oh, there's another one.
There was because
there's a hole, which we have since sealed up, but there was a hole under our fence that they had dug under our fence to the neighbor's yard.
That was new, by the way.
It was very new. And so one went in. I was like, oh, there's two. Oh, there's three. Oh, shit, there's four.
That's unacceptable.
4.
Unacceptable.
They weren't coming near the house. They can't get under the foundation or anything
here's what was worse about that is one was just casually enjoying the sun in our grass.
He was in the grass. I got within 3 feet of him before he took off. He was the fourth one.
This is so lovely here. I think we should live here forever.
He's Remy. He's the last one. He never made the escape.
Here's the problem. None of them are afraid. None of them were.
They were just like, well, they ran, but.
Well, obviously, eventually, they're like, oh, something large is coming.
Yeah.
Can I just mention how useless our dog is?
Yeah. Well.
Nothing. Nary a nothing. I'm outraged.
In fact,
I'm like, what is the point of this?
You know what she did do? Is I laid a couple. Well, first we sealed it off to where I mean, obviously they're mice; they can find a way back in. But we sealed off the obvious entrance pretty well, and then with extra boards and all this stuff. Then I put traps out.
Yes.
Right.
Mouse
traps, and the bait that works is peanut butter. And I inadvertently left the little door to the garden open because we were doing a bunch of yard work and stuff. And so she proceeded to go and steal one of the
She grabbed the mousetrap and was running around with it
on the lawn. It's not one that where she can hurt herself because it's like an enclosed one. It's a tunnel one.
But I'm like our dog has a mousetrap in her mouth and she's running around with it. Like, and
the only other time that has happened was a rat trap when she had it.
Yeah, with a rat in it.
But
I'm like, why do we have this dog? She's bougie. She doesn't want to do any of the jobs that a dog is supposed to do.
From Sasha to bougie.
I'm so disappointed in her, and I wish that she understood English so I could explain to her. You have one job. She's not a lady. Ugh, you and your bitch. I swear to God. So, yeah. So now we have Well, here's the thing. When your neighbor has mice, guess what? So do you. And we're going to be the ones to kill them all, which is annoying. You even said, you're like, I wish they would just go away. I don't want to kill them.
I don't.
I don't blame you, Pa, but I mean, it is what it is. It's odd watching you disassociate when you have to kill animals because for whatever reason, you know, like you can just do it. And you've been this way since I met you, by the way. This is not a new skill. I think it's due to your fishing, but I don't know. Probably. But before that...
What's ironic, though, is I release all the fish I catch now. I know. I didn't then, but...
But here's what's crazy. Okay, so we're done with that. Yeah. And we did have a significant spider on our curtains that you tried to vacuum up and you missed. Somehow you missed it. Though.
I just had to move
I
the suction a little bit.
I couldn't believe it. I was like... Don't miss.
Well, I should have grabbed the bottom of the thing, but the spider was pretty big.
It was large.
I didn't. Man, the fucking vermin in this house.
I don't even. I'm out of my mind.
Yard is
but here's what I think.
Okay.
Also, we didn't even discuss the rat that literally was so big it picked up the rat trap.
Oh my God!
And took it with him.
Did you share the video?
No.
Oh, we should share the video.
Okay.
This was like Pizza Rat.
So 100%. The morning that we're leaving for Anaheim, I told you, I said, I don't think we should set the rat traps out while we're gone because I don't trust that our kids will take care of it if something gets caught or dies in there. And so we need to pull the traps while we're gone because we're constantly, I mean, we live by the river. There are rats all the time.
Like, there's a little drainage behind us. There's it is what it is. But
people don't get pest control here because why would you do that?
It's pointless.
It's a joke. It's like,
useless.
don't do it.
You can keep them out of the house. Well, except for lizards, apparently. But but you can keep them out of the house, but you're not going to keep them out of the wilderness behind you.
You just can't. It's impossible. No, you can try.
Sure.
Anyway, so you're like, yeah. So you wake up at the crack of dawn and you're looking and you're like, there's 75 notifications from our backyard. What the hell?
So I've got a camera.
Well, we have a trail cam. Absolutely.
Like a trail cam on the trap because I'm not going to check it every single day, right?
No, I mean, if there's a rat, you need to go, okay, we have to set a trap there.
Right.
I wake up at like 6 to get ready so we can leave. And you're like, well, it's been a very, very exciting morning. And I'm like, it is 6 o'clock in the morning. Did someone die? Because you always wake me up with a death of a celebrity or something. And you're like...
Well, because I never get to be the first to tell you. And if you're sleeping, there's a good chance I know before you.
And you're all, well, no. And I'm like, what? He goes, well, we caught a rat. I'm like, oh my God, we did. You're like, yeah, by its arm. And I'm like, oh my God. So you're like, you're like, it's on film. So you deleted a bunch of them. So I couldn't see that part. But you're like, look at this. And it is one of the biggest rats we've had in a long time.
Yeah,
we had one like that a few years ago. And it was horrifying.
It was a big one.
It was so bad that the original rat literally got like trapped by like the neck, but the trap was so small that the thing took the trap and left the premises with it. It was the biggest rat ever.
Never saw it again.
Never saw it again. But this rat was like, oh, peanut butter. Picked up the entire trap.
And this is not small.
No.
This is a big plastic trap.
Picked it up with both hands like a pizza.
With his teeth.
And his arms.
Yeah.
He picked it up. He's like, oh, I'll just take this with me. He picks it up and takes off back to a safe area. And of course, immediately.
So.
Well, you hear it, but you don't see it.
We got like a garden fence there and some bricks that just actually keep the dog from going behind the shed. That's what the point of that was.
Right.
What it did was it picked up the trap and tried to go back through the garden fence. And in doing so, took it over the brick.
Unbelievable.
Lifted it over the brick. But then when it went through the gate, the trap snapped.
And it caught its little arm
its
or leg.
Back leg.
Its leg. And you know what? We're not into the world of suffering. Like, I don't want anything to suffer.
No. But this is it.
3 in the morning.
We had no idea this had happened. Well, it was like probably like 4:30.
Yeah.
Oh, but the reason it kept going, the camera kept going off.
Yeah, because it was thrashing.
It's because it was either thrashing or I could see its tail like set the camera off.
Oh my God.
And so I'm like, fuck, this thing's not dead.
Nope.
Because I couldn't see it. I could just barely see movement. I was like, this thing, oh my God. And then I finally got to the video where I see it take the trap. I was like, how did it get to that far? I was like, oh, I thought maybe it took it, or like the other one, like got. Yes. Oh no, he took it like he was going to eat the peanut butter, and then he got stuck. And now he's over the garden gate that I can't get to.
Right.
And he's hanging. He's not on the ground where I can just
awful.
hit him with something and put him out of his misery. He's hanging.
Oh, no.
So I've got to get some sort, not to be graphic, but I get a shovel.
Yeah, well.
And I swing it toward me to hit it on the head on the other side of the gate. And I intentionally turned the camera off.
I know. And I'm so glad you did. I
it
appreciate that.
Screamed.
Of course it did.
It was terrible.
Oh, my God.
So I didn't take one
like
or
two
two.
hits.
It took two. So I got him, and then I got him. Now I've got to open the trap,
figure it out.
really make sure he's dead. And he filled the shovel. I had a regulation size shovel, and he was as long as the shovel.
I will say this. This is why I call you Pa Ingalls.
It was terrible.
I don't know what I would do if this had happened while you were traveling. Yeah. That's all I can tell
still
you.
be hanging there.
It'd be dead now. I don't know what I would have done. I probably would have called Tyler, my son, and said, "What are we gonna do?" And because he's as soft and tenderhearted as anybody.
Yeah.
But he would have dealt with it. I know.
Well, either that. Well,
I couldn't have done it.
I thought about that. Well, first of all, I was gonna take the trap down anyway because we didn't want this to happen because we were getting ready to leave for several days. So I think had it happened, I'd have had Tyler come over and go, "Look." And he'd send me a picture, whatever. I'd be like, just open the trap and let him go.
Yeah, it would have died eventually.
Just open the trap and let him run.
It ain't coming back.
Let him run. But I wasn't going to do that. So
no.
I didn't,
well,
because
it
we've
was
been
suffering.
trying to get him.
He probably broke its little back anyway
I'm sure,
on the trap.
I'm sure. Anyway, terrible.
I
terrible,
digress. My point is that's why I call you Pa Ingalls. I think that it is fascinating that you can disassociate and deal with animals like this. It's crazy to me that you can do it. I can't do it. I mean, obviously, I guess I could if I had to, but here's what I've surmised. Mm-hmm. Sasha's useless. She does nothing. She's annoyingly useless as a husky. What kind of husky does nothing? She doesn't patrol the perimeter. She does nothing. She just wanders around like, when's my next treat? Oh no one can pet me. I'm sorry. I'm weird. I don't like anyone being my friend.
She's just a different kind of dog, I guess. I don't know. She's not bodega. I could tell you that.
This is why it's happening. Yeah. We don't have bodega anymore.
You're right. You said that today.
These critters are thinking, oh, the big bag wolf is gone. Yep. So now we can come back and invade this. No, you may not. I told you today, I will get a fucking husky. And I will get one that will kill anything. Yeah. Anything. I've had it. Because this is why I miss my precious boy. Because he protected us. He protected me. And now I have this wasted, beautiful creature.
Wasted, beautiful.
She's the only indoor husky I've ever seen in my life. She's like, what? I just sit here looking beautiful. This is what I do. She's annoying.
So the irony of all this,
such a disappointment,
is that at the crack of dawn, we're getting ready to get ready so we can go on a plane.
Yes.
And I kill a mouse right before going to the house of the mouse.
I know. On your birthday.
On my birthday.
Yes. So we go to Disneyland for a couple of days. The flight was great.
Yep.
The flight wasn't even full. It was so nice. I didn't feel disgusting when we got off the plane, because usually when I get on a plane, I'm like, I can't wait to get out of these clothes. I can't wait, It did not feel like that. I think because it was early. We had a whole row to ourselves, which was nice.
Yep. You made me move over a seat.
Yeah. And then when we landed, he landed so hard.
He did land hard.
That we bounced like Soul Plane. The doink. And everyone went, oh! I even was like, is that normal? Because I don't travel as much as you do. You're like, no, that was really hard.
Well, the flight attendants are like,
welcome to Orange County twice.
That was funny. She was funny.
Yeah, she was.
She was like, welcome to Orange County twice.
Yeah. Flight was great. Got right there. Our room was ready when we arrived.
That was great.
Never happens at Disneyland. So we're like,
early
this is amazing, because we stayed at Disneyland. The hotel, the resort, and so we get to our room. It's fantastic. We got a great view, everything. We're like, oh, this is so great. We got our tickets. We freaking splurged. We got Lightning Lane. We got all the things.
We did what you do when you're our age without children.
When you have income, when you have a little extra cash to splurge.
Throwing money at the line problem at Disneyland is the greatest thing in history.
Honestly. So we go, and we are so excited to go. we just basically blew our load the first day.
Oh my God.
I mean, I don't know if you would agree with that, but I was dragging my ass for the rest of the time we were there. The first night was unbelievably fun. We had so much fun.
It was so much fun. Well, plus you're getting up early, you're flying, you're getting there. The whole travel thing wears you out. And then you do a full ass day at
We
Disneyland.
did a full freaking day.
We did 9 miles of walking that day.
Day one.
After landing.
But you know what? It didn't even feel like it. I was having so much fun.
Oh, we had a blast.
We went on every ride.
We did.
Mostly that day.
Yeah.
And then we just were like, what are we going to do? I don't know. And we're like, we closed the night out. But the only thing we didn't realize was it was a grad night.
Yeah.
So California Adventure closes at 9. Well, I was like, well, who cares? Like, they're all going to be there, and we do Disneyland at night anyway, because then all the small children leave, and we don't have to deal with the babies and all that crap. Yep. And so...
all that crap.
Honestly, unpopular opinion.
I don't know how unpopular it's going to be, but
there's no reason to bring a baby to Disneyland at all. At all. There's no reason. None. You should not... We saw a 10-week-old baby.
Yeah.
In Disneyland.
I don't.
Why?
I don't know.
This isn't fun for the mother.
Nobody.
What?
We saw a woman with 3 kids and pregnant.
Alone. Why? I don't get it.
Man,
Please explain it to me why you think it's fine to bring a baby to Disneyland. You have to bring half your house, a giant stroller, and they scream constantly. It's hot. They're tired. They don't want to sleep in the stroller. Like you're constantly stopping for babas. Like, what are we doing? Stop with it. You have plenty of time to go to Disneyland when they're older.
They're free until they're 2, I think. You don't have to take them at 10 weeks.
Honestly, I don't know if I'd take a 2-year-old. No, I don't. To be fair, but that's just me.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it's grad night, and it didn't even occur to me that they would spend all day at Disneyland and then migrate to California Adventure at 9 o'clock.
A lot of seniors.
There was packs of seniors walking around. Now, here's the thing.
Not the 50, 60 plus seniors.
Somebody we talked to when we were at the cantina in Star Wars Land.
Yep.
She was complaining that she thought that they were kind of rude and entitled and didn't know personal space. And in all honesty, I'm like, I don't agree.
Yeah.
I thought they were all just fine. Like they were just living their best lives. They were more interested in each other and cute guys and girls or whatever.
Right.
They had no interest in anything else. They were getting on the rides, doing their thing. And honestly,
I didn't think it was that bad.
If they're there for grad night, how bad are they? Yeah. They could be literally anywhere else partying.
Yeah.
On a beach, especially in LA, they could be at a beach. They could be at somebody's house getting high or drunk. And I mean, they're at freaking Disneyland with their friends.
I know.
So to me, it's like, look, this is as good as it's going to get as far as kids go. So to me, they were fine. Yeah. I didn't mind. And it was not as crowded because those annual pass people couldn't come that day.
Right. That was the best part that we didn't know until later. The grad night blocks out a lot of the Magic Key locals.
Except for the super elite tier.
Right.
So I'm like, well, it wasn't so bad. And the lines weren't that bad. And the crowds weren't that bad.
No,
we had a great
time.
We had so much fun. We did everything. We go back to our room. So we get up the next day. I am tired. And unfortunately for you, I am not a morning person. So even though we had breakfast delivered at 7 a.m, I'm like, the idea of putting food in my mouth right now is repellent.
We ordered it too early.
Well, I thought, I really believed
that we would get up.
That I would get up and I'd be ready to roll and we would go.
Yeah, not rope drop necessarily.
No, but I thought, we'd be out of I thought we'd be out the door by 9. We were not.
We were not.
I have no regrets though.
No, me neither.
Like personally.
Well, what was cool about that was it was just after 11 by the time we got there, but because we had park hopper passes, you start at Disneyland
every day.
And then at 11 you can go over. Since we didn't get there till 11, we got out of line and went straight over to California Adventure.
Yes, and we did.
And we did some cool rides
there.
So
for me personally, I made a lot of errors on this little quick trip.
All right.
One, I got fried on Monday. I got so I'm still sunburned. I mean, it's tanning now, but I was really, 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 really sunburned, and I didn't know how sunburned I was until we got home for the night.
It wasn't overwhelmingly hot, but it was sunny,
it felt. But and the thing is that it felt so good to sit in the sun. Yeah. I didn't even realize how burned I was getting. So there was that. Also, before we left, I was trying to do a quick run on my garden because I have all these tomato plants and they're doing really well this year and I'm super excited about it.
Yep.
So I went out there without shoes on, bare paws, and I hit like a rock or something and I bruised my heel.
Yeah.
And it was getting worse by the moment.
Perfect
and then
injury when you're going to
walking 9 miles exacerbated the injury.
You think?
And so I was hobbling by Tuesday morning. I'm like, I don't know if I can walk. It felt like sciatica pain in my heel. It was so painful. And I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I'll figure it out. So I took like a handful of Advil and it helped.
Yeah.
It helped a lot. And I also did like a hot soak and I did a bunch of stuff and it did help. But
what helped mostly?
The rum.
That's right.
Yes, we did.
The rum at Trader Sam's.
Yeah, that was great.
Loved it.
I barely remember FaceTiming our friends. I will say that. I woke up like, did we FaceTime?
We did.
Did we FaceTime our friends?
We did.
I don't remember that very well. I just remember going, hey, are you naked? We're going to call you. That's all I remember. Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed your birthday.
I had a blast.
We did a little extra Star Wars-y things,
yep.
which you loved.
A little VIP Star Wars action. That was awesome.
VIP view of the exclusive little fireworks show and the little projection show, which I thought was really nice.
I loved it.
And you got a little pin and all the things. So I thought it was great. Uga's Cantina was really great.
That was fun.
Talked to some cool people. I met a doctor.
Yeah.
That was neat. So the things that I have learned about going to Disneyland in the future, I always learn something new when we go. Because we don't go as often as we used to.
No,
we used to go every year.
Years,
well, we used to go every year because our daughter was a cheerleader
right.
and they had cheer competitions every year.
Right.
So it had been like 5 years, I think. Always look at the calendar to see how many annual pass holders are allowed to go on your dates. Best thing to do is go on block out dates.
Agreed.
Every
now
single
we know.
time. Yeah, definitely.
The more especially the lower
out,
levels, like the lower 2 or 3 levels, if they're blocked out, that's the day to go.
Also, apparently, if you want to eat in the park, you better make your reservations 2 months in advance because apparently you can't get reservations for a sit-down meal. The first meal we had was the day we were leaving.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
but anyway,
we didn't have a real sit-down until we were leaving. Yeah.
All the good things, though, were the staff is still the best staff in general. Every single human that works there.
Cast members are great.
Amazing. Yeah. We also heard about Monsters, Inc. going away because they're going to be expanding that. And so we got to go on Monsters, Inc. luckily. Yep. So at least we got to enjoy it one more time before they destroy it, which is, it is what it is. But I do love that ride. It's so fun.
What was our first ride? Didn't we just go on Pooh? Because it was like a short wait.
We did go on Winnie the Pooh right away because people were waiting 40 minutes to get on Pirates, which I do not understand that. Just freaking wait till night.
Not when you know it's going to be 5 minutes later that night. So,
So we ended up on everything. We did Haunted Mansion. We did Pirates several times. We did the Rise of the Resistance. All of it. It was so fun. The one thing that was great was we were really freaking tired on Monday, and we decided to go back to Fantasyland because those are the rides that are hardest to get on.
Right.
And we get on Snow White, which you and I love to get on for some reason. We did Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. And then we said, foolishly, initially I said, well, we'll just get up really early and we'll do Peter Pan. And went, no, we won't do it. It's only 20 minutes. Let's just do it. Now, the overall belief is it's never 20 minutes.
No,
it says it's 20 minutes, but it's not.
Is not correct.
They lie. Yeah. It's a full lie.
Yeah.
We were there for probably 40 getting in line.
40 minutes for sure.
Everybody in line is pale and ready to go to bed because it's 11:30 at night. But no one cares because it's so hard to get on the stupid ride. And once you're in it, you're kind of in it. You're committed.
It's kind of one of those rides that's never less than 30.
Never.
At all.
Ever.
At any given time. Because it's worse when the little kids are out. But then everybody, that's the best ride in Fantasyland.
It is. So. And it's iconic and all the things. So we get on it finally. And once you're on it, you completely forgot that you were waiting in line that whole time. And so I'm riding it and there's cool air and you're flying through in the darkness of Neverland. And you're like, this is why we do this.
That's right.
This is why we get on this because it's so amazing. And it's never long enough, because you just love it so bad. But anyway, so in general, it was a super fun. But the mistake I made was I had worn my cross training shoes instead of walking shoes. So I ended up with some blisters on my toes,
you had some paw problems that trip.
And then the morning that we're leaving, but we're going to spend another day in the park, I don't think I have it in me, but I'm like, no, we're here for Daryl's birthday. I'm gonna suffer through this. Trooper. So I walk up to you and I hit my knee. Oh, and I had hit my knee on rides getting in and out because of my stupid wobbly heel.
You were just so mad and frustrated.
So I was furious, and I'm like, I am not this person. I am not this person. I work out all the time. I can handle this, but I had the wrong shoes on for everything, and then I had that freaking injury. So I hit my knee leaning in to talk to you, and I just stopped and I stared at you, and I'm like, I can't do this anymore. And I walk into the bathroom.
You were crying. Oh.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. So finally, I'm like. We were in the park and we did a couple of things. And I said, you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I could go home right now. Now. We were supposed to go home until like 7:30 at night. Yeah. And it was like 11. Yeah, I'm like, I want to go home. Yeah. And you're like, okay. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. Do you want to stay? I'll stay. And you're like, no, I'm fine. I hope you truly were fine.
I was totally fine. Okay. I think in hindsight, we should have tried to do Alice.
I know. We should have done one last ride.
And I didn't know this. I told you this little fun fact. That is the only place in any Disney park that there is an Alice in Wonderland ride.
Okay.
The teacups are in a lot of places. Yeah. But that at Disneyland Park is the only actual Alice. I didn't know that.
I didn't either.
And we didn't ride it.
And we didn't see, we did see one weird thing.
What?
On Monday when we were there and we were waiting in line for cars, you're all.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So there was
this is a good way to end the Disneyland story.
There was an older gentleman, probably in his late 70s, mid to late. You think he was younger than that? Do you think he was in his 70s?
I was going to say older, but...
I don't think he was that old, because I saw his
late
face.
60s, early 70s.
I think he was in his 70s, early 70s.
He walked like he was 80.
I don't know what was going on with that.
But
and next to him was this very young lady.
Very young.
Probably 22.
And
what?
Who else was there?
I don't know what you're talking about.
They had a guide.
Oh, yes, they had a guide.
They were doing the VIP multi-$1,000 walk you onto everything. Yes.
It's a $5,000 thing to have a host. So they guide you through and you do every lightning lane, and you get whatever.
They order your food for you, everything. Yep.
Yes, and you get to sit somewhere separate.
Yep.
So I just see them and I haven't looked at you. I
was behind you in line in a single file line.
And I'm looking at these two and I'm like, well, this is an interesting pairing. And I'm like, and I'm thinking of all the things that it might be. And you lean up into me and you're like, I don't know what kind of backstory you're giving these people, but you need to be careful of your face. And I'm like, what are you talking about? You're like, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
You did too.
And I'm like, fine. And I'm like, well, they're not related. He goes, obviously. And I'm like, I don't think she's a prostitute in the traditional sense.
She had Playboy bunny socks.
I know you kept harping on that, but
that's not a normal thing. That sealed the deal that this is not a granddaughter, this is not a daughter, this is not a niece, this is an escort.
She wasn't an escort. What I surmised was he was her sugar daddy and he was taking her gambling about. And because they didn't know anything, because she's like, well, I just prefer the vinegar. They were putting in their order for lunch. She goes, well, I really prefer vinaigrette if you have it. He's like, oh yeah, I like that too. And I'm like, okay. And when he's facing you, when he was not behind, like when I could see his face, he looked normal. He was like he looked like a very wealthy gentleman who was dressed in very expensive casual clothes, very expensive sunglasses.
You kept talking about his haircut.
He had an expensive haircut, 100%. I wish I had taken a picture for Greg. He would back me up on this. And she had a very distinct look. Super clean, very minimal makeup, dressed in like tennis clothes practically. Mm-hmm. And, acting kind of like, oh, is that how that works?
She was not dressed like slutty or anything.
No.
She was like
very
a normal
athletic.
22 athletic kind of.
She was tall, blonde, beautiful young woman. And so... I'm like, I think this is a sugar daddy situation. Yeah. And so obviously we didn't see them after that, but I'm like, I tried to take a picture, but I'm like, you know what? Because I just wanted to show Greg. I'm like, look at this guy's hair. But it didn't work out. And I'm like, this feels creepy. I'm not going to do that. So I deleted it and whatever. But anyway, fascinating.
Wait, weren't we on the same car with them?
Yes.
I have a photo.
That's right. But do I look ugly in the picture? Because if I'm ugly, I don't want to look at it.
Maybe not. I don't remember seeing that, but if I do, I'll If I have it,
send it to me.
Yeah.
Anyway, but we're not going to show it to anyone.
No, because they take the ride photos.
Right.
So.
Yeah, they were in front. You're right. They were in our car. Anyway, fascinating people watching day. Far too many children.
Yes, agreed.
Which is why I like to go at night where there's no issues. No rude people. That was great. And then, so we decided to skip out early because I'm like, I just really want to go home. You're like, yeah, me too. So we got on a flight like 2 hours early, right? We're sitting in the airport. Are you listening to me?
Yes, I'm sitting in the airport.
I know you found the photo. Just stop it. Pay attention to me, please.
Sorry.
And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the entire airport shakes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, is that an earthquake? Because I had my headphones on because there was some rude woman speaker phoning with her feet in the air. I couldn't even.
For 2 hours.
Straight, nonstop.
Never got off the phone.
Never stopped talking with her on speakerphone.
On video calls.
Unbelievable. Whatever. Anyway.
Bitch, I hate fucking people.
So I turn and it is pouring rain.
Oh, yeah.
Pouring rain, and they're like,
lightning.
oh, we're delayed because there's lightning.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay. So, I mean, it was only like 20 minutes. We got on the plane. It was fine.
We were only delayed a little bit because everybody else was delayed because we were there super early.
But damn. And then it was a rocky takeoff, by the way. It was tumultuous to me.
Oh, once we got up in the mess,
my God.
Yeah,
I'm like, can we please get past these
rough.
clouds? Once we got over
That's
the
all
clouds, it was
doing.
fine. But
Yeah.
I was very nervous.
Yeah.
I know. It's just not.
I know.
But anyway, come to find out, when we landed, Disneyland shut down.
After we left.
Yeah. All the rides were closed
Yep.
because of the lightning and the
Yep.
thunder.
Which apparently happens all the time in Orlando.
Yeah.
But
Somebody in Autotopia got road rage, literally got road rage. And
I didn't know it was road rage.
Yes. They rammed into them and pushed them into a hill. It had a 4-year-old and a dad in it. And the guy behind them rammed into them and pushed them off pushed them right off the path.
Oh my God.
And they had to call the ambulance and they had to call the fire department. It was like a nightmare. We left like when I tell you that we left, oh my God, it was such good timing.
Kismet.
Yes. So anyway, that was your birthday trip. It was amazing.
It was
couldn't wait to
eventful.
get home. I will tell you this along with the animal situation. And by the way, side note, this is exactly why I didn't fuck with that demon turtle in Hawaii. Because our family, I don't know where the curse comes from, but our family does not have normal interactions with wildlife ever. And now you know why. This is like the squirrel that came in through the dryer when I was a child and
it all
climbed
goes
up.
back to that.
Honestly. Horrifying. I mean, I have other stories, like when the giant rattlesnake was sitting on our front door.
Oh, right.
And we couldn't get in the house and we had to call someone.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that one.
Just all kinds of terrible. Just awful. Anyway, so yeah, my nerves are shot. I am mentally overloaded. I'm overstimmied and it has not ended. And I just need, I need a Valium.
Yes.
And something else because I have to go to the fucking dentist this week. And that's another thing.
Ugh, that's your
I just don't want to do anything anymore. I want to be put in some kind of bubble where I can just float for 5 minutes. I want to disassociate so badly.
Yeah, I get
and
you.
my life does not allow it.
I know.
So there you go.
I know.
Anyway, all right. Well, thank you for listening. We will be back with a new show very soon. Bye.
Bye.